Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're diving into a fascinating story, an overlooked piece of American history that could be lying right in your pocket change. Yes, we're talking about the 1986 Mint Mark Washington quarter. You wouldn't believe it, but some of these coins are worth a staggering amount, up to $88,700. How does a common quarter turn into such a gold mine? Stick around as we explore the history, the errors, and what makes this particular quarter worth a small fortune. Let's get started. So, let's go back to 1986, a year that was full of excitement in America. The Statue of Liberty had just been restored for her centennial, Top Gun was the hottest movie, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was hard at work producing millions of coins for the nation. Among these was the Washington Quarter, a coin we've all seen countless times, featuring President George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The 1986 Washington Quarter isn't exactly rare if we're just talking about the sheer number produced. The Philadelphia Mint cranked out over 551 million of these quarters, and they were meant for everyday use, used to buy soda, make calls in payphones, and even saved up in piggy banks across America. However, there are a few key features and variations that make certain 1986 quarters highly valuable today. Now, why is the Mint mark important? The P represents the Philadelphia Mint, and it's located just above the year on the obverse side of the coin. This mint mark is crucial for collectors, as it helps identify where the coin was minted, which can impact its value, especially when it comes to coins with errors or those in exceptional condition. In 1986, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced quarters, but it's the ones with the P that we're focusing on. For many of these coins, what sets them apart is the quality of the minting process and, in some cases, intriguing minting errors that made them rare. Alright, let's talk value. Most of us wouldn't give a second thought to a 1986 quarter, because it looks like every other coin out there, right? Well, here's the surprise: if your quarter is in exceptional condition, we're talking about something called MS-68 or higher in the grading scale, then you've got something special on your hands. In 2021, a 1986 quarter graded at MS-68 by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, sold $4,813. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg. The record-breaking price for one of these coins was set at a mind-boggling $88,700. This value is rare, though, and it requires the coin to be in nearly flawless condition. So, what makes a 1986 quarter worth that much? First, condition is everything. Coins graded MS-68 or MS-69 are incredibly rare, as most quarters from circulation are scratched, scuffed, or worn down. If you somehow have a pristine quarter that's been untouched, you could be holding a goldmine. In fact, when grading companies like PCGS or NGC determine a coin is near perfect, they look for sharp details, clean surfaces, and the absence of any contact marks. Imagine, out of over 500 million quarters minted, only a handful meet this criteria. This scarcity at such a high grade is what drives the astronomical price tag. Another key factor that can increase the value of a 1986 quarter is mint errors. Errors like double die strikes, off-center strikes, and even die cracks can make these coins far more valuable. Collectors love these quirks because they make each error coin unique, a little piece of history that shouldn't have been but somehow managed to slip out of the mint. Take an off-center strike, for example. This happens when the die and the planchet, the blank coin, aren't properly aligned during the minting process. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, it could easily boost the coin's value into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, how can you find out if you have a valuable 1986 quarter? First, grab a magnifying glass or, even better, a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the overall condition of the coin. Do you see any major scratches or wear? If not, you could have something worth sending to a grading service for an official evaluation. Next, pay attention to the mint mark and the details of Washington's portrait and the eagle. Crisp, well-defined details are a must. If you think your quarter could be in that rare high-grade condition, consider submitting it to PCGS or NGC for grading. It could be worth the investment. Let's talk about the current market value. While that $88,700 figure is incredible, not all 1986 P quarters will sell for that much. However, even a quarter in MS-67 or MS-68 condition could be worth several hundred to several $1,000s. In today's market, prices for coins like these are often set at auctions or online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or even through private collectors. The key to getting top dollar for your coin is ensuring it's properly graded and finding the right platform to sell it. Coin shows, collector forums, and reputable auction houses are all great places to start. So there you have it, folks. The 1986 P Washington quarter may seem ordinary at first glance, but it's anything but that if you have the right one in pristine condition or with a rare mint error. Who knew that a simple piece of pocket change could potentially be worth almost $90,000? Remember, the next time you get a quarter in your change, don't overlook it. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hand. We're going to dive deep into the story of the 1993 D Mint Mark $quarter coin, a seemingly ordinary quarter that's hiding a value far beyond what you'd expect. Today, we'll be covering its history, why it's worth so much, and what makes it so special that it can be worth up to $76,700. So, make sure to stick around because this is a story you definitely don't want to miss. Alright, so let's start with the history of the 1993 D Mint Mark $quarter. First, what does that D mean? Well, the D is actually a mint mark that signifies where the coin was produced. In this case, it's the Denver Mint. In 1993, the United States Mint produced millions of $quarter coins across various locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D represents Denver, and it's a key feature of the coin we're focusing on today. The 1993 quarter itself is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which started way back in 1932. It features George Washington's profile on the obverse, or front side, and, on the reverse, it has the iconic bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, a symbol of peace and strength. The Washington Quarter was designed by John Flanagan, and it was created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By the time we got to 1993, quarters were still an essential part of everyday transactions, and most people probably never thought twice about them. But like all coins, not every quarter minted in 1993 was created equal. While millions were minted, a small number of them turned out to be incredibly rare and valuable today due to several factors like errors, low mintage numbers, and unique conditions that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. You might be asking yourself, why would a 1993 quarter with a Denver Mint mark be worth over $76,000? Well, the answer comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, errors, and demand. Let's break these down one by one. One of the key reasons this coin can be so valuable is its condition, especially in uncirculated, mint state, or MS, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A coin graded MS-67, MS-68, or higher is considered to be in nearly perfect condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes because finding a coin from 1993 that has remained in pristine condition is quite rare. Think about it, most of the quarters minted that year ended up in pockets, cash registers, and laundry machines. They were scratched, scuffed, and circulated for decades. But a handful of coins managed to survive without any significant damage, and those are the ones collectors will pay big money for. In fact, a 1993 D quarter that has been graded as MS-67 or MS-68 by PCGS can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction simply due to its immaculate condition. Another factor that adds value is the presence of mint errors. Coins with unique minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can be incredibly valuable because they are one of a kind. In the case of the 1993 D Mint Mark quarter, certain error varieties like double dies or significant misalignments have been reported, which makes them highly desirable for collectors. Errors are like a fingerprint, they make the coin unique, and that rarity makes them significantly more valuable. An error coin could easily skyrocket in value depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Another major reason why the 1993 D quarter is worth so much is the scarcity of coins that have been graded in high mint state conditions. For a coin to reach a price point of $76,700, it needs to be part of a very exclusive club. The population of MS-68 or higher 1993 D quarters is extremely low, which means that there are very few of these coins available to meet the high demand from collectors. This scarcity drives up the price, sometimes to astronomical levels. Now, let's talk about the current market value of the 1993 D mint mark quarter dollar. As of now, the highest value recorded for this coin is an impressive $76,700. This valuation came about during auctions where well-known collectors were bidding against each other to acquire a coin that was graded MS-68 by PCGS, making it one of the finest known examples. Auction prices can fluctuate greatly based on collector interest, but when a coin like this comes up for sale, the competition can drive prices sky high. The average value for a 1993 D quarter can vary widely depending on the grade. Most circulated 1993 D quarters are still worth only their face value, 25 cents. But once you start looking at high grades, MS-65 and above, the value begins to climb substantially. In MS-66 condition, the coin might fetch anywhere from $100 to $200. In MS-67, you could be looking at values in the thousands, and, as mentioned earlier, MS-68 coins have been known to reach tens of thousands of dollars. It's important to note that auction results can depend on several factors like market conditions, the rarity of that specific coin, and the level of interest among bidders. Coin collecting is a passion for many, and when a rare, high-quality coin comes up for auction, collectors are willing to spend top dollar to own a piece of numismatic history. So, how can you identify if you have one of these valuable 1993 D quarters in your possession? Here are a few steps you can take. First, check for the D mint mark, which is located on the obverse side of the coin, right next to George Washington's ponytail. This tells you that the coin was minted in Denver. Take a close look at the coin's condition. Are there any scratches, dings, or wear marks? If the coin looks like it just came from the mint, you could be in luck. It's best to have the coin professionally graded if you believe it's in near-perfect condition. Even slight imperfections can greatly impact the coin's value, so this step is crucial. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, inspect the coin for any minting errors. Some of the things to look for include doubling on the lettering, misaligned features, or any strange marks that could indicate an error during production. Error coins are typically worth significantly more than their error-free counterparts. If you think you have a valuable coin, the next step is to have it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will assess the coin's authenticity, condition, and assign it a grade that will determine its market value. Coins that are graded MS-67 or MS-68 can sell for thousands of dollars, so getting that professional certification is absolutely worth it. In conclusion, while the 1993 D mint mark quarter dollar might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, its potential value is anything but ordinary. Whether due to its rarity in high-grade conditions, minting errors, or the small population of top-quality coins, this quarter has captured the interest of collectors worldwide, and some of them are willing to pay a pretty penny to own it. So, the next time you're sorting through your change jar, take a moment to look closely at those quarters. You never know, one of them could be worth thousands, or even $76,700, if it's in the right condition. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the possibility that any ordinary-looking coin could be a hidden gem, and the 1993 D quarter is proof of that. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and the history behind them. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? We'd love to hear your stories. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of US coins, and we have something really special for you. Have you ever taken a closer look at your spare change and wondered if that regular-looking quarter might actually be worth a small fortune? Well, today we're going to focus on a specific coin that has grabbed the attention of collectors around the world, the 1994 Mint Mark quarter. That's right, a coin that you may have in your pocket or your couch cushions could actually be worth a lot more than 25 cents. How much more, you ask? Well, some have fetched an incredible $68,700 at auction. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you why this seemingly ordinary quarter is valued so highly, the history behind it, and how you can identify if you have one of these valuable coins. Let's start by understanding a bit of the history behind the 1994 Mint Mark quarter. The P on this quarter stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main facilities of the U.S. Mint. In 1994, millions of quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, actually around 880 million to be precise. It seems like just another common year for quarters, right? Well, not quite. The 1994 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series that had been minted since 1932, when the United States decided to honor the first president, George Washington. The design itself hadn't seen many significant changes until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. However, what makes the 1994 quarter so special is not necessarily in its design but rather in its condition, unique features, and certain errors that occurred during production. Now, you might be wondering why anyone would spend tens of thousands of dollars on a 1994 quarter. Here's where things get really interesting. There are a few reasons why these coins can fetch such high prices at auction, and they all come down to rarity, errors, and condition. One of the most important factors that contribute to the high value of a 1994 quarter is its condition. The term mint state, often abbreviated as, is used to describe coins that are in the same pristine condition as they were when they left the mint. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The coin that sold for $68,700 was graded MS-68 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. That means it was almost flawless, with sharp details, no visible scratches, and a beautiful luster. This high grade is extremely rare for quarters from this year because most of them were circulated, meaning they suffered from general wear and tear. Another reason the 1994 quarter can be so valuable is due to mint errors. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in a coin that's different from the standard issue. These errors are like quirks that make the coin unique, and collectors love unique coins. Some common types of errors that make the 1994 quarter valuable include: this happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing a doubling effect on the design. If you see doubling on features like Washington's face, the lettering, or other elements, you could have a valuable coin. These errors occur when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being off the edge of the coin. The more off-center, the rarer, and usually more valuable, the coin becomes. These are other types of minting anomalies that can make a coin stand out and become desirable to collectors. The concept of population is very important in numismatics. That's the fancy term for coin collecting. It refers to how many coins of a particular type and grade are known to exist. For the 1994 quarter, very few have been found in an MS-68 or higher condition, which makes them extremely desirable. When a collector wants to complete a high-grade set, they will pay big money for the rarest examples, like that one in MS-68 condition. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare 1994 quarters that could be worth a small fortune? Here are a few tips on what to look for. First, you need to make sure you actually have a 1994 quarter that was minted in Philadelphia. The mint mark is located on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. If you see the P, then you have a Philadelphia quarter. Next, evaluate the condition of your coin. If it looks brand new, with no scratches or visible signs of wear, you might be holding something special. Keep in mind that most valuable coins are found in uncirculated condition. The less handling and wear a coin has, the better its chances of receiving a high grade. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the details of the coin closely. Look for any doubling, especially on the date, lettering, or Washington's profile. Also, see if there are any off-center strikes or other peculiarities that could make your coin unique. These details could potentially increase the value of your coin significantly. If you think you might have a valuable 1994 P quarter, the next step is to get it graded by a professional service, such as PCGS or NGC. Grading companies can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which is essential if you plan to sell it at auction. Coins that are graded and come with a certification tend to sell for much higher prices since buyers trust that they're genuine. Now, let's talk about the current market value of the 1994 P Mint Mark quarter. As I mentioned earlier, one of these quarters sold for a whopping $68,700. This was a record sale, and it was largely due to the coin's impeccable condition and extremely high grade. However, not every 1994 P quarter is worth tens of thousands of dollars. The value really depends on the grade. Coins in lower grades or those that show signs of wear may only be worth their face value, or perhaps a few dollars if they're in good condition or have a minor error. As of today, an MS-65 graded 1994 P quarter could be valued anywhere from $20 to $50, while an MS-67 might fetch $100 or more. The real jump in value happens when you get into those MS-68 or higher grades. And if your coin has a significant error, like a dramatic double die or an off-center strike, it could add hundreds or even thousands to its value. So, what should you do if you want to find one of these valuable 1994 P quarters? Start by checking any spare change you have lying around. You might just get lucky. Consider buying rolls of quarters from the bank. Sometimes uncirculated coins find their way into circulation, and you might discover one in a roll. Many coin shops or shows will have 1994 quarters in different conditions. You may be able to find a gem hiding in plain sight. If you think you found a valuable coin, protect it. Store it in a holder to prevent further damage. The 1994 P Mint Mark quarter is a perfect example of why it's always a good idea to take a closer look at your change. Who knows? You could be holding on to a small fortune without even realizing it. Whether it's a rare mint error, an exceptionally high grade, or simply a unique variation, there are a lot of factors that can make a common-looking coin worth thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin stories, tips, and updates. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever come across a rare coin, or if you're going to start checking your change more closely from now on. We're diving deep into a fascinating story about a seemingly ordinary coin that turned out to be a jackpot for some collectors, a 1995 P Mint $quarter coin. Believe it or not, this coin has reached a staggering market value of $56,700. So what makes this particular quarter worth so much? Stay tuned as we explore the history, unique features, and what makes this 1995 quarter truly special. To understand the true value of the 1995 P Mint Mark quarter, we need to rewind and dive into its history. In 1995, the U.S. Mint at Philadelphia produced millions of quarters, marked by a P Mint mark, which were distributed for circulation across the nation. These quarters bear the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, which has been used since 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth. The reverse of the quarter at that time still displayed the classic bald eagle, perched with its wings spread and holding arrows and an olive branch, a symbol of America's strength and commitment to peace. Okay, so you might be thinking, what's so special about this quarter? After all, millions were minted in 1995. However, a few rare errors make certain 1995 P quarters unique, which is what drives their sky-high value. The main factor that has collectors buzzing is the rarity of error coins. Error coins are coins with flaws that occur during the minting process, and they can include anything from double strikes to misaligned dies. In the case of the 1995 P Mint quarter, some errors include double die obverse, unusual misprints, or even missing clad layers. These errors make the coin significantly more valuable, especially if they are in mint, uncirculated condition. Additionally, a very limited number of these quarters made it into circulation, which adds to their rarity and, therefore, their desirability among collectors. Over the years, the value of the 1995 P quarter has skyrocketed, and here's why: numismatic rarity is always a game of supply and demand. A mint error combined with the coin's condition can lead to a bidding war among serious collectors. One particular 1995 P quarter, which was graded as nearly flawless by a top-tier grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, sold for an eye-popping $56,700 at auction. This high price was driven by the coin's rarity, impeccable condition, and the desirability of mint errors. In the world of coin collecting, having a high-grade error coin from the Philadelphia Mint like this can mean you own something truly one of a kind. Now, you might be wondering, do I have one of these valuable quarters? Let's talk about what you should look for. First, examine the obverse side under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling, especially around the letters of Liberty, or the date itself. This is what's known as a double die error, and it can greatly increase the coin's value. Next, pay attention to any missing layers. Some 1995 quarters have a missing clad layer on either the obverse or reverse, which will make the coin appear coppery instead of the usual nickel color. Such visual errors are rare and very valuable. Lastly, condition is key. Even if your coin has an error, its value will be significantly higher if it is uncirculated or shows minimal wear. A good rule of thumb is to have it evaluated by a professional grading service, as they can confirm its rarity and provide a certification, which is crucial for collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. Now, let's talk about the current market value of this coin. Most 1995 P quarters without any unique errors are worth face value, 25 cents. However, those rare error coins we talked about can range significantly in value. In general, a double die error quarter from 1995 could fetch anywhere between $100 to $1,000, depending on its condition. However, the extremely rare, high-grade error coins, such as the one that sold for $56,700, are what truly grab headlines. This record-breaking price was influenced by both the rarity of the error and the impeccable state of preservation, which was graded as MS-68. In coin grading, an MS-68 indicates a coin with virtually no imperfections, a true gem. So, how can you get in on the action? If you're interested in collecting, here are some tips to remember. First, always keep an eye on your pocket change. It's amazing what treasures can be hiding in plain sight. If you come across a 1995 quarter, inspect it carefully. And if you notice anything unusual, like doubling or a missing layer, it may be worth getting it professionally appraised. Second, if you're serious about collecting, consider investing in a quality magnifying glass or a coin microscope. These tools will help you identify minute details that could make a big difference in a coin's value. Lastly, when buying coins online or from auctions, always buy from reputable dealers. Counterfeit coins are unfortunately common, especially when a particular coin starts getting a lot of attention. The 1995 P Mint Mark $quarter coin may look like just another coin from the mid-90s, but it has the potential to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, if you know what to look for. Whether it's a rare mint error or an impeccable grade, the value of these coins shows just how fascinating and rewarding coin collecting can be. So next time you get a quarter in your change, take a moment to look a little closer. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. We have something very special to discuss, the 1999 $quarter coin with the D1787 mint mark. Yes, you heard that right. A 1999 quarter that's worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In fact, its current market value can reach an astounding $44,700. Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the history, rarity, and what makes this coin such a hidden gem. First, let's set the scene. The year was 1999. The internet was still finding its feet, the world was preparing for the Y2K bug, and the United States Mint had just launched one of the most ambitious projects in its history, the 50-state quarters program. This initiative was designed to celebrate all 50 states, with each state getting its own unique design on the reverse side of the $quarter coin. In 1999, the first 5-state quarters were issued: Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. But today, we're zeroing in on a very unique version of these quarters, the 1999 D1787 mint mark variant. So what makes this quarter so valuable, and why are collectors willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars on it? Alright, before we get into the specific value, let's talk about the history and the significance of the D1787 mint mark. You might be familiar with mint marks like D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco, which indicate where a coin was produced. But the D1787 marking is different. The D here still refers to the Denver Mint, but what's intriguing is the number 1787. Now, 1787 is actually a very special year in American history. It's the year when the U.S. Constitution was drafted. This year is historically significant, and it seems that a small number of these coins were minted as a kind of commemorative issue, possibly even a mistake or as part of a test run. Most likely, the Denver Mint was experimenting with a unique mint mark to celebrate the birth of American democracy, and only a few of these coins were released into circulation, either accidentally or on purpose. This rarity and the connection to such an important year in history make the 1999 D1787 quarter extremely desirable for collectors. Now let's get a bit more specific. The design of the 1999 quarter dollar is iconic, and if you take a look at it, you'll see that the front, or obverse, side still bears the image of George Washington. This has been a constant feature of U.S. quarters since 1932. On the reverse side, however, you have the unique state designs. In 1999, Delaware was the very first, featuring Caesar Rodney on horseback. The D1787 mint mark on these quarters isn't something you can see immediately at a glance. It's typically very small and located near the bottom, next to Washington's portrait. What's more, these coins also have subtle differences that aren't present in standard quarters, things like slight variations in the font, minor die imperfections, or differences in the details on Rodney's horse. All these elements combined make it not just a quarter, but a piece of numismatic art. So, the big question is, why is this coin worth so much money? How does a 25-cent piece reach a market value of $44,700? Well, as with most valuable coins, it all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, demand, and condition. Let's break it down. Only a few 1999 D1787 mint mark quarters are known to exist. The exact number minted isn't officially recorded, but experts believe it was an incredibly limited run. Some estimate that fewer than 500 were ever made, and only a handful have been found. Rarity is the number one factor driving up the price of this coin. The 1787 reference connects this coin to a crucial year in American history, the drafting of the U.S. Constitution. That historical connection makes it desirable not just to coin collectors, but also to history buffs who appreciate its symbolic value. The demand for error coins or unusual mint marks has skyrocketed in recent years. Collectors are always looking for something unique, something that stands out from the millions of ordinary quarters produced each year. A coin with such an unusual mint mark, particularly from the year 1999 when the state quarters program began, is a true collector's item. The condition of the coin is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, mint condition coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If you happen to come across a 1999 D1787 quarter in excellent condition, it could be worth significantly more. It's been reported that one of these coins, graded MS-67, mint state 67, recently sold for $44,700 at auction. That's why condition matters so much. Now, let's talk about how to identify if you have one of these ultra-rare coins. First, take a look at any 1,999 quarters you have, especially the ones from Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, or Connecticut. You're specifically looking for a mint mark that says D 1787 instead of the usual D, P, or S. You might need a magnifying glass to spot this detail clearly, since mint marks can be tiny. Additionally, if you think you found one, it's a good idea to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. This way, you'll know exactly what you have and can get an official grade, which will help determine the coin's value on the market. Now, as of the latest market data, a verified 1999 D1787 quarter can fetch anywhere from a few $1,000s to $44,700, depending on its condition. If it's a high-grade example, you're looking at that top value. There are stories of people finding these coins in loose change, or in collections passed down from grandparents. So, don't discount the possibility that a valuable coin might be hiding in your own home. Coin shows, online auctions, and numismatic websites are also places where you might come across this elusive quarter, though be prepared for some fierce bidding if you do. The story of the 1999 D1787 mint mark $2 coin is a perfect example of how fascinating numismatics can be. It's a coin that represents not just money, but also history, rarity, and a bit of mystery. If you happen to come across one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And even if you don't, just the thrill of the hunt can be an exciting way to explore history and maybe even strike it rich. Remember, always check your change carefully, especially when it comes to older coins. You never know what kind of treasure you might find. Thank you so much for joining me today on this incredible journey through the world of rare quarters. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to channel name for more content on rare coins and valuable collectibles. Also, let me know in the comments, have you ever come across a rare or unusual coin? I'd love to hear your stories. We're going to dive deep into a coin that many of us might have in our pockets or collections, the 2001 Pennsylvania State Quarter. You might be surprised to learn that some of these quarters are now worth an impressive $36,700. We're going to cover everything, from the history behind this coin to its unique features and the factors that can make it worth so much money. Let's start with a bit of history. The 2001 Pennsylvania State Quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, an initiative by the United States Mint that ran from 1999 to 2008. The goal of the program was to commemorate each of the 50 states in the order they were admitted into the Union. It was a phenomenal success and got millions of Americans interested in coin collecting. Released in 2001, the Pennsylvania State Quarter was the second coin to be issued that year, and it features some truly iconic imagery. So, what exactly is on this coin, and why does it matter? The Pennsylvania State Quarter features the Commonwealth statue, an image of the state of Pennsylvania, and the state's motto, virtue, liberty, independence. There is a lot of symbolism here, and the design reflects Pennsylvania's rich history and its key role in America's founding. But the thing that really catches collectors' attention is the mint mark. The P on the quarter indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, while millions of these coins were produced, only a handful have become incredibly valuable. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing large numbers of coins, so why is this particular quarter so valuable? The reason, my friends, lies in rarity, condition, and some special errors. While hundreds of millions of the 2001 Pennsylvania quarters were minted, there are some varieties that make a specific batch incredibly valuable. First and foremost, let's talk about errors. Error coins are like the holy grail for collectors. Some 2001 quarters have what's called a die crack error, or even a double die error. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing the image or lettering to appear doubled. This creates a really striking and unique look that collectors absolutely love. Another error that has been found on some 2001 quarters is a misaligned die, which results in the design being shifted or off-center. These errors make the coins one of a kind, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these unique traits. Let's talk numbers now. Some of these 2001 Pennsylvania quarters have fetched as much as $36,700 at auctions. That's right, tens of thousands of dollars for a quarter you might have thought was just worth 25 cents. But what's driving this high value? It's a combination of condition, rarity, and demand. First, the condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. If a 2001 quarter is in mint state condition, particularly a grade like MS-68 or MS-69, it's almost pristine, meaning it has no visible wear, scratches, or imperfections. These high-grade coins are extremely hard to find, especially when it comes to circulated quarters that have been in pockets and cash registers for decades. Coins that receive these top-notch grades can reach astronomical values in the auction market. Another factor is rarity. Not all of the 2001 quarters have these errors, and even fewer have survived in good condition over the years. This makes the coin particularly desirable for collectors who are always searching for something rare to add to their collection. Let me tell you about one particular auction *** a 2001 quarter that was graded at MS-68 and featured a slight die crack recently sold for an incredible $36,700. This was because it was one of the best preserved examples of this particular coin, and it had a unique error that made it stand out. Now, let's say you want to check your own collection to see if you have one of these valuable quarters. What should you look for? Here are a few key points to keep in mind. Make sure you have a 2001 quarter with a P mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Look for errors like double die, die cracks, or any visible misalignment. These errors can be subtle, so take your time. Is your coin shiny and almost flawless, or does it have a lot of wear and tear? The better the condition, the more likely it will fetch a high value. If you think you have a high-quality coin, consider sending it in to get graded by a professional grading service. If you're serious about determining the value of your coin, having it professionally graded is a must. A high-grade coin with a desirable error is what makes collectors go crazy, and it's what turns a simple quarter into a potential five-figure auction piece. And let's not forget about the current market conditions. Right now, the value of rare and error coins is at a high. Collectors are actively searching for unique coins to add to their portfolios, and they're willing to pay top dollar. If you've got a 2001 Pennsylvania quarter with a notable error or in mint condition, the current market could potentially yield an incredible return. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it's time to check your piggy banks, dig through old coin jars, and see if you have a 2001 Pennsylvania quarter hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, there's always a thrill in discovering that something seemingly ordinary could be worth a small fortune. Before we wrap up, remember that knowledge is power when it comes to coin collecting. Always do your research, look for those special features, and if you think you've got something valuable, don't hesitate to have it graded. Who knows, you could be holding a $36,700 treasure in your hands right now. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories about valuable coins and collectibles. And we're talking about a modern-day marvel that has taken the numismatic world by storm, the 2012 Mint Mark quarter dollar. How can a quarter that was minted just over a decade ago be worth as much as $28,700? That's what we're going to uncover today. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss our latest deep dives into valuable coins. Let's start with a bit of history on this quarter. The 2012 Mint Mark quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, a program introduced by the United States Mint that ran from 2010 to 2021. This series featured different quarters celebrating America's stunning national parks and historic sites. Specifically, in 2012, 5 different designs were released, and they featured places like El Yunque National Forest, Chaco Culture National Historical Park, Acadia National Park, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, and Denali National Park. What makes these quarters so interesting and valuable, though, is the minting details and, of course, the rarity factor. But before we dig into why some of these are fetching prices up to $28,700, let's quickly discuss where they were minted. The 2012 quarters were minted in 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Today, we're focusing on the Philadelphia Mint quarters, which are identified by the P Mint mark. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are, in general, very common, but certain variations and conditions can make them quite special. Now, you may be wondering, what is it that makes a 2012 P quarter worth thousands of dollars? Let's break it down into a few key factors: rarity, condition, errors, and demand. Let's start with rarity. While millions of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia, only a handful are truly rare. When we talk about rarity, we're not just talking about how many were produced, but also how many survived in perfect or near-perfect condition. Many coins go straight from minting into circulation, which means they get scuffed, scratched, and worn over time. But the quarters that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are the ones that collectors are really after. This brings us to the condition. The value of a coin can be highly dependent on its condition, and that's where professional coin grading comes into play. Grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale. Coins that score an MS 67 or higher are incredibly valuable because they are virtually flawless. When it comes to the 2012 P quarter, finding one in an MS 67 or even MS 68 condition is exceedingly rare, and that rarity drives up the value. But it doesn't stop there. Mint errors can make these quarters worth even more. Errors like double dies, die cracks, or off-center strikes are particularly attractive to collectors. A 2012 P quarter with a significant mint error can make it truly one of a kind. And as collectors know, uniqueness often means value. Now let's talk about why this coin can be worth $28,700. Recently, a 2012 P quarter dollar in nearly flawless condition went up for auction and fetched this jaw-dropping price. The coin in question was graded as MS 68, which is almost unheard of for a modern coin from regular circulation. Add in a slight minting anomaly, and you've got yourself a collector's dream. This particular quarter had extremely sharp details, brilliant luster, and a remarkable absence of blemishes. The auction scene was electrifying. Collectors from around the world battled it out, and the final hammer fell at $28,700. This event sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, and everyone started paying a lot more attention to their 2012 quarters. So, if you have a 2012 P quarter lying around, you might be wondering, how can you tell if it's valuable? Well, the first step is to check its condition. If it appears uncirculated, with no visible scratches or wear, it's definitely worth getting it graded. Even without mint errors, an MS 67 or higher coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to have a significant error on your coin, it could be worth much, much more. It's also a good idea to use a magnifying glass to examine the details. Look for any doubling on the inscriptions, cracks, or anomalies that make your quarter unique. These small details can make a huge difference in its value. Let's not forget about the demand side of things. The America the Beautiful quarters have been a hit among collectors, partly because they celebrate the diversity of America's landscapes and history. Complete sets in pristine condition are particularly sought after, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to fill the gaps in their collections. That's why even a single quarter like the 2012 P Mint mark can be worth so much if it's in the right condition. So, what should you do if you find a 2012 P quarter? First, assess the condition. If it looks uncirculated, consider sending it in for grading. Even if you don't get that elusive MS 68, a high-grade coin can still be worth significantly more than 25 cents. And remember, mint errors add even more value, so take a close look. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is that treasures can be found anywhere. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket change. The story of the 2012 P quarter is a perfect example of how modern coins can still hold incredible value, especially when rarity, condition, and demand come together. So, folks, it's time to check those change jars, raid your piggy banks, and look through your collection. You never know, there could be a small fortune hiding among your coins. And if you do happen to find a valuable 2012 P quarter, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more content about rare and valuable coins. Click that bell icon so you're always in the know about the latest and greatest finds in the numismatic world. Who knows? Maybe the next coin we talk about will be the one sitting in your pocket right now. We're going to explore one special coin that has been taking collectors by storm, a 2016 D mint mark quarter dollar that's worth a lot of money, with one recently selling for an incredible $20,700. That's right, a simple quarter that can fetch more than $20,000. Let's dive into the fascinating history, value, and the current market trends of this special coin. To understand why this coin is so special, we first need to delve into the story behind the 2016 D mint mark quarter. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints of the United States. The Denver Mint produced millions of quarters in 2016, but the specific ones that are creating all the buzz today are part of the America the Beautiful quarter series. The America the Beautiful Quarters program was a series that began in 2010 and ran until 2021, celebrating national parks and significant sites across. So, you might be asking yourself, out of millions of quarters minted, how can a single quarter be worth $20,700? That's where rarity and condition come into play. Most of these 2016 D mint quarters aren't particularly valuable, after all, they were struck for circulation. But a few coins came off the presses in nearly perfect condition, what we call mint state. In fact, the most sought-after 2016 D quarters are those that have been professionally graded at a near-perfect MS68 or even an elusive MS69 by top coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC. In coin collecting, every tiny detail matters. A flawless surface, no visible scratches, and a perfectly struck design can significantly raise the value of a coin. And that's what makes the 2016 D mint mark quarter so special. Out of the entire mintage, very few survive in such pristine condition. One specific 2016 D mint mark quarter made headlines recently when it sold for an astonishing $20,700. This sale took place at an auction, which is the best place for collectors to find rare coins and for sellers to get the best price. The high value of this coin was due to its nearly flawless condition, a grade of MS69, which means it was just one step away from perfection. So, what makes it worth that much money? The rarity of finding a coin in such impeccable condition. For a circulating coin like a quarter, which passes through many hands and machines, staying in mint state condition is incredibly rare. Think about how much handling a quarter goes through: vending machines, cash registers, pocket change. Most of them end up scratched or tarnished, but this particular coin somehow remained untouched and perfect. Now, let's talk about what you should look for if you want to try your luck at finding a valuable 2016 D mint mark quarter. First, always check the mint mark. It will be located on the obverse, or front, of the coin, right next to George Washington's ponytail. The letter D means it was minted in Denver. But the key factor is the condition. If you find a 2016 D quarter that looks almost perfect, sharp details, no scratches, and very minimal wear, you might want to consider having it professionally graded. The cost of grading might be worth it if you truly have a coin that could reach the high levels of MS68 or MS69. Keep in mind that even an MS67 graded quarter could fetch several $100s, while those in lower mint state grades might still be worth more than face value. You're probably wondering, what's the current market value of the 2016 D mint mark quarter? Well, prices for these coins can vary based on market demand, the rarity of high grades, and even overall economic factors affecting collectible coins. Coins graded MS68 are often sold for a few $100s, while MS69 examples are extremely scarce, hence the jaw-dropping price of $20,700. The market value fluctuates, and many collectors are on the lookout for the next high-grade coin to hit the auction block, driving prices up even further. Moreover, with the growing interest in modern coins, the 2016 D quarters are benefiting from increased collector enthusiasm. It's important to stay updated by checking auction results from major coin houses like Heritage Auctions, or websites like PCGS for recent sales. So, how can you maximize your chances of finding a valuable 2016 D mint mark quarter? Here are some tips for all you treasure hunters out there. Head to your local bank and get rolls of quarters. Searching through bank rolls is one of the most cost-effective ways to find valuable coins. Who knows? You might get lucky and come across a mint state 2016 D quarter hiding among the rolls. If you think you found a potentially valuable quarter, handle it carefully. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid getting fingerprints on the surface. Remember, condition is everything. If your coin looks exceptionally clean, with sharp details and no noticeable wear, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade your coin, which is crucial for achieving those high auction values. So, the next time you get some change, take a closer look at those quarters. You never know what you might find. The 2016 D mint mark quarter is a perfect example of how even modern coins can hold immense value under the right circumstances. Whether it's due to rarity, condition, or simply being in the right place at the right time, a small piece of metal could turn into a valuable collectible. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about history, art, and the thrill of the hunt. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one auctioning off a quarter for tens of thousands of dollars. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting and want more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunt tip. Let us know in the comments, have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy hunting.